Hello everyone and welcome into Coach Craig's Sports. This is the NBA DFS Core Pick video for Thursday, January 30th. If you're joining me for the very first time, first of all, welcome in. Second of all, this is how today's video will be structured. We'll be going over my core picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel. In the morning, I'll be listing my morning injury report. That will have the injuries for 7 of the teams in play. There are 3 teams there on the back-to-back, so those injuries will be coming out later on in the day. Throughout the day, I will be leaving injury updates throughout the comments, as well as my updated core about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock, or as those changes do become available. And then throughout the evening, I will be posting as many of the starting lineups as I can get to as well. So definitely make sure you're looking up in the comments, especially as we get closer to lock. But without further ado, we'll get started with the DraftKings side. We're going to start off at that point guard position. We're going to go with Anthony Simons of the Portland Trailblazers. It's a little bit tougher matchup versus the Orlando Magic. Kind of depends on who's seeing the majority of those point guard minutes for Orlando and everything else like that. But $6,400, looking for 32 out of him. He's averaging just under 31.5 so far on the season. Playing pretty well as of late, so currently I'm projected for about 33. Might have a little bit upside for more, might have a little bit downside for less. Looks like Jeremy Grant is questionable for this game, so that could open up a little bit of usage at the same time as well. Then we move down to shooting guard with Isaiah Collier, who has been starting for the Utah Jazz as of late, playing really well, especially when Lauri Markkanen hasn't been in the lineup. And with that being said, Lauri Markkanen is going to be questionable once again. Technically a back injury, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're just holding him out and hoping to trade him at the trade deadline too, and making sure that he doesn't get hurt more or hurt at all, however you want to phrase that. But that's a story for a different day. Collier's played really well as of late. Last 3 games for him, he's been up over 30 points at $5,500. We're looking for 27, 28 out of him. Currently have him projected for about 29, a little bit tougher matchup versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. But, if there is no Lauri Markkanen, if there's no John Collins, once again, a lot of usage to go around on this team overall. Then we move down to small forward with Franz Wagner of the Orlando Magic. He is $7,800, looking for 39 out of him. Averaging almost 44 so far in the season. Pace up spot versus the Portland Trailblazers. Played really well since he's came back, and he's played good-sized minutes, so not really worried about him here. Currently, I'm projected for 41. Could have some upside for more. Maybe a little bit downside for less, but still looks like a really solid play overall for today. Then we move down to power forward. I just kind of want somebody that's cheap here. There's not a lot of good, cheap value on this, at least early on. We'll see if anything opens up throughout the day. But have Jonathan Isaac here. He is $3,500. Looking for 17, 18 out of him. Essentially, he's averaging so far in the season. A Portland Trailblazers matchup, which should be a little bit favorable to him. We'll see if he gets a couple extra minutes here and there because of that. But he's the guy that should go out there, play about 18 minutes, probably get you about 20 fantasy points and not hurt your lineup overall. Probably somebody that's going to change as the day moves along, especially if more value does open up throughout the day. And then last but not least, we have the center position for the Los Angeles Lakers. I have Jackson Hayes listed here. If he gets the start, it's him. If it's Christian Koloko that gets the start, it's him. And if Jared Vanderbilt gets the start at center, then it's him. Obviously, Anthony Davis is not going to be playing in this game. Maybe they start LeBron at center and this all goes out the window, but kind of whoever starts there, I do have projected for about 24 points. Looks like a decent value at that center position overall. If you want to go to Jonas Valanciunas on the opposite side of that game for the Washington Wizards, if Alex Sarr is out once again, looks like a solid option there as well. Not too much to be said here at that center position, but one of the few values that we do have at least early on in the day. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that do currently have listed here, you have $22,300 remaining, just over $7,400 remaining per player. So looking a little bit like a balance build type of day, but we still have a decent amount of money left over. Obviously, we do have 2 pay down options here in Jonathan Isaac and whoever the Lakers center ends up being. But with all that being said, a lot of different ways that we can build out our lineups for this slate overall. Should make for a pretty interesting 5-game slate. We'll see what news comes out throughout the day. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my core picks over there as well. We're going to start off at the point guard position with Anthony Simons. He's $6,500, so a little bit more expensive on the FanDuel side. Still like him in this matchup. He's playing really well as of late. Currently, I'm projected for 32, 33, which is essentially right what we're looking for out of him at $6,500. Has a little bit upside for more, maybe a little bit downside for less. Obviously, the Orlando Magic matchup, not the greatest matchup in the world, but if you're getting a lot of Anthony back, if you're getting a lot of Cole Anthony, could be a little bit better. Jalen Suggs coming off that injury. Maybe gets Kentavious Caldwell-Pope on him, but at the same time, I don't think they're going to single out Simons from a defensive matchup perspective unless he's on fire, but if he's on fire already, he's probably paying off at this price tag. And then we moved down to shooting guard with Jalen Green. A little bit up and down as of late. Was on that really hot stretch. Kind of down a couple games. Now kind of back on that hot stretch a little bit again. So he's $7,100, looking for 35, 36 out. Currently, I'm projected for 35. Interesting matchup versus the Memphis Grizzlies. He's averaging about 32 so far in the season. If he continues that mostly good play as of late, should be a pretty good value here. Looks like a really good GPP play just in general, and I don't mind the price tag at $7,100. Then in small forward, we're going to go with Max Strus at $5,200, looking for 26 points out of him. He's been in that starting lineup as of late. They are on the back-to-back. He is coming off an injury that he missed the better part of the beginning of the season with. so there is a chance that he sits on the back-to-back. Darius Garland sat out on Tuesday night. Donovan Mitchell's probably going to sit out on Wednesday night. Should be some extra usage to go around for Max Strus if he ultimately ends up playing in this game. Looking for 26 out at 52. He's outperformed that in his last 3 games, so definitely do like that upside from him once again. Currently, I'm projected for 27-28 in this matchup, which is a pretty favorable one versus the Atlanta Hawks at the same time as well. Then we move down to power forward with Franz Wagner. So he's $8,000. Everything I said on DraftKings still applies. Recently came back. He's been playing good-sized minutes. He's been playing really well. It's a really good matchup versus the Portland Trailblazers. At $8,000, we're looking for 40 out of him, averaging 43 so far in the season. Currently having projected for 41, 42 on the FanDuel side, but definitely could have some strong upside for more at the same time as well. And then last but not least, we're moving down to that center position once again. We got the Los Angeles Lakers center, whether that's Jackson Hayes, whether it's Christian Coloco, whether it's Jared Vanderbilt. Whoever ends up starting in this game probably gets the most minutes. You know, if somebody could go out there and get hot and then the rest of them lose out on some minutes. But whoever ultimately ends up starting will have projected for about 24 points. If you want to go with Jonas Valanciunas on the opposite side of the game, assuming Alex Sarr is out once again on the back-to-back, then you can definitely do that as well. But at least early on, Lakers center does look like one of the few cheap options available as we do start off the day. But with that being said, if you go with the 5 players that I do currently have listed here, you got $28,700 remaining. Just under $7,200 remaining per player, so decent amount of money left over. Maybe it looks a little bit more like a balance build, but still some opportunities to pay up. Maybe we get some cheaper value throughout the day. That does open up some extra money for us to be able to pay up for some of those star players at the same time as well. But with that being said, that's what I do have in terms of my core picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel for Thursday, January 30th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. And then once again in the morning, I'll be listing the injury report. There'll be 7 teams on there, 3 teams on the back-to-back, so we'll get their injuries throughout the day. We'll be posting any other injury updates down in the comment section as well as my updated core about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock that will be left as a pinned comment. If there's any other additional changes to that after that point in time, we'll leave them as a reply to that pinned comment as well. And then I will also be posting as many of the starting lineups as I can get to down in the comment section throughout the night as well. So definitely be sure you're checking up on that comment section, especially as we do get closer to lock. But with that being said, if you are brand new to my channel, checking out for the very first time, or have yet to subscribe, please consider doing so. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers. Right now, we really just have NBA DFS going on in terms of the core pick videos Tuesday through Friday. And then last but not least, if you're interested in sports betting, if you're interested in prop betting whatsoever, be sure to check out the links and promo codes down in the description below for BetUS, Parlay Play, and Prize Picks. If you're a brand new user on any one of those 3 sites, when you sign up, make your initial deposit, you'll get a first match deposit bonus. For Prize Picks and Parlay Play, it's 100% match up to $100. And then for BetUS, it's 125% match up to $2,000. So some pretty great opportunities to be had out there. If you have any other additional questions related to that whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me, whether it's down in the comment section of this video or on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport, and be more than happy to help you with that journey as well. But with that being said, that's all that I truly have for today's video. Definitely do appreciate each and every one of you doing. Definitely means a lot to me. I hope that each and every one of you have a great rest of your day and some pretty good luck in NBA DFS for Thursday, January 30th.